What's going on, y'all? Is Breaking the Kernel, Garrett, and then you have Albert, and
Back again.
we interesting. So something really interesting I want to start the show off with, right? Is disc editions for the PS5 make up 82% of all console sales.
For real?
I found that very interesting.
I didn't know that. Where you get that
I
from?
found, this one in particular is InsideGaming.com.
Inside gaming, huh?
Yeah, InsideGaming.com. Now, when it comes to numbers like this, and I won't be biased, first of all, everyone knows me knows I'm a huge physical media stand. With that being said, I always like to give these numbers a couple percent. So I like to play with like 5 to 10% off. So I go like 5 10% less than whatever they're saying. So it says 82%.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it, but I would like to. I give it 5 10% cushion. I'll go as low as 5 here because I feel like it makes sense because again, on the PS2 or PS5, sorry, you can play PS4 games. So I'm assuming a lot of people, like we know for a fact that almost 50% of all online active users for PlayStation Network are people who have PS4s. So Owen goes to assume that a lot of people have discs because there's no, well, is there a digital version? No, there's no digital only version for PS4, right? I don't think so.
No.
So all those people have discs. So unless all those discs were able to be traded in for digital copies, they're going to have to use a disc drive for the console. And yes, can they buy digital only and then get the disc drive? Sure, but why would anyone do that? Like that, why would anyone do that? That didn't at least when the PS5 first came out. I feel like that's a weird reason. And for people who need a disc drive or want the disc drive, so I believe these numbers. And I guess my question to you is, do you think, because so I say all that to bounce it off to like the PS5 Pro, not the anniversary edition. That's been sold out like as soon as it dropped. The PS5 Pro edition, regular one, has not sold out. Now it's been trending on Amazon. To be fair, it's been trending on Amazon as one of the highest selling consoles or pre-orders for a console on Amazon. But
Interesting.
through PlayStation, through Best Buy, through Walmart, through anywhere you can buy a console at,
It's not sold
it's
out.
not selling
No, no, no,
nearly
no,
as
no.
well.
Okay,
Nearly
there
as
you go.
well.
All right.
Nearly as well. Because I mean, let's keep it a bean.
Let's keep.
We saw the horrendous launch for the PS5. Now obviously we're not in that kind of crunch with COVID and all the
All right.
situations right now, but there still is a pro console. There still is a PS5. Half the users are still playing on the PS4, which means they have not upgraded yet. So this will be a perfect time to upgrade. And it is holiday season coming up, so I mean, as we're making this video, the PS5 Pro comes out in like 2 weeks. It's coming out like very quickly. It's not like a thing. It's coming out very soon. So I guess my question to you is like, what do you think? Why do you think people are not buying into this PS5 Pro right now? Like, where's the hype going?
So, okay, the question is, why do I? Okay, so I think you're basing your question off of it not being sold out, and I think a lot of people are looking at it and saying to themselves, it's not sold out like the PS5 sold out. That must mean it's not in demand or as much in demand, or it's not as sought after, or it's not as mm, it's not as good. So I mean, I understand that train of thought, but huh? I would say it's not going to be as hyped as the PS5 because it's not a new console. It's a new version of an existing console. So like, it's not a new generation. It's not PS6, So it's not going to be as much hype. Like I don't think there was as much hype for PS4 Pro as there was for PS4. Like I don't think there was as much hype. Like going from PS3 to PS4 that was big. Going from PS4 to PS4 Pro was like, if you have a 4K TV, I guess kind of thing. I feel like it's like that. So like, I don't think people should expect the same level of pandemonium over a PS4 over a Pro versus the next generation of consoles. So that's my opinion. And I think people saying like, oh, you can actually buy one now. Like it's not sold out. It's not like a bunch of scalpers. It's not a bunch of bots. It's not a bunch of people selling the regular PS5 Pro for like $1,000 on eBay or $5,000 on eBay. That must mean it sucks. So that must mean it's not selling. That must mean it's failing. No, I don't think so. A, because of what I just said, and then two, because Sony, we're not in the pandemic, so they could have actually beefed up the supply to meet the demand. That's one. So if they beefed up the supply to meet the demand, and then it's not going to be sold out, they're going to have enough to sell through the holiday season, which is what it should be. That's what it should be. Even if the console is in demand, it just didn't happen the first time because of COVID. So I think that's not really going to be indicative of how successful it's going to be. That's my opinion. So yeah,
No, I think those are two valid points.
it can still fail though. Don't get me
Because
wrong. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah, you could, but no, I think it's two valid. Those are two valid points. I think one. So I kind of on the opposite train of, and don't get me wrong, I own a PlayStation 5, people. I am not. The only reason why I would root for this to fail is for the sole reason that I think fully digital, no choice, is what this is trying to lead to, and it's a very dumb decision. Especially since, again, 50% of your user base still has discs, which means if you do the PS, and they haven't bought the PS5, and they're probably just going to skip out of it at this point. If it's
Hold on.
50%,
50. Say that. What's the static percent of what?
people are active PlayStation Online users have a PS are playing on PS4, not a PS5.
50%.
Bro, a lot of people. It's a lot of people. And I got this from multiple sources, so that's when we did the
Damn.
episode a couple of weeks ago.
I gotta look that up. I didn't know it was that high. I thought it was like maybe a third. 50%.
No, a lot of people. A lot of people.
Sheesh. Okay.
And I say that, and again, like I said, I like to give 5-10% less than what those numbers usually are, because, like we said the other time, I believe, like, what does active use, like, there's certain little tidbits with that, but either way, I would say like around 40% is still 40. Anything 40 plus, anything 30 plus is crazy, but damn near 50% of your audience or active users are using the PS4. Now, granted, that could mean they're just using it as like a Blu-ray player still. There could just be like, or that's what they intended to use it for, because the PS4 came out a long time ago when people were still buying like Blu-ray players. So it could be like, oh, we just use it for that. There's no need to upgrade. That is a possibility. That's the same thing I have with the PS3. People bought it for PS2, PS3. People just bought it for that reason. Like DVDs, and then
Play
obviously
movies.
PS3 with the Blu-ray player. So there is that aspect, and you do have to create like a profile on your PS4 anyway. So now, would you have PS Plus? Probably not, but you never know. Like, people can get into gaming that way. So I'm just going to put a certain percentage of that into that category. That still leaves an overwhelming amount, and I feel like to go fully digital, which for obvious reasons they're trying to do it. If your people have not transitioned to the PS5 yet, and it's been long enough where people can get it if they want to, introducing a more expensive console is not going to get people who thought $500 was too much. They're definitely not going to jump on $700 and something plus dollars, especially an extra $80 to get their disc drive. Now, again, the only reason why I wish they did a disc drive version of the PS5 Pro,
Why?
like disc drive included, is I would like to see the numbers. To see if people would have bought that. That's what I would have. I would have been interested to see that, because again, a lot of their user base still have physical discs. So if people were going to upgrade, it would be the disc drive version. And the fact that it's just not attached is going to just bitter people, and also it's just annoying to have to spend $80 or whatever it is for that, and then plus the cover, and then all that other stuff. So it would have been interesting to see that. But I do have an announcement to make that's interesting.
All right.
I am no longer, and you're going to find this interesting, I'm no longer
What?
Team Canon.
Sony.
I transitioned to Sony as of today.
Yeah. Smart man.
As,
Smart man. Learned something today. Good for you. You finally learned what the rest of the world learned. You just caught on late. Congratulations. There you go.
Thank you, man. Nah, so I transitioned to Sony camera. So I thought this would be interesting to bring into this. I transitioned to Sony camera because, one, the glass, meaning lenses for Canon, were pretty expensive. Not that they're not expensive for Sony, but there's a lot of different variety that I found that I liked, especially some old school lenses I saw too. There's like a lot of just different things I saw. I also like the color science a little better. I like the that can shoot damn near in a black hole and see the light. Like I like those different aspects. I actually do like street photography and shooting. And all kinds of other stuff at night. Like I really like neon lights and being do this stuff like that. And now that you cannot do that on Canon, I had an R6 Mark II. It was a beast. It was a full frame beast. I made a movie off of it. Everything. It's a fantastic camera. But I wasn't using it to the capabilities because I was using like EF lenses, a whole different thing. And I just wanted to try to experiment with different brands because I want to start shooting sports events and stuff like that. And I really like how the Sony camera operates during sports events. I see that as the standard that what a lot of sport teams use. So I just wanted to familiarize myself with that system. So I was like, you know what? Instead of just renting the camera, let me just go buy that camera. Let me sell my Canon. I sold my Canon. I was like, let me go buy the Sony. Let me experiment with that. I also want to tiptoe into Fuji cameras because I like the color science with their photos. I'm not going to use it for video, but just for photos. That's a whole different thing. But I know you have experience with, because a couple of our friends have like Sony cameras, and I just think I thought you would appreciate that transition to
come on over,
Sony,
man. Come on over.
Sony cameras.
That's where it's at. That's why most content creators today, they have Sony cameras, man. It's not a secret. Like they're just the best. And you finally realize it. So yeah, good.
We'll see. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna test it out. We're gonna see. Hopefully, I didn't make a huge life altering mistake. But to get into the meat of this episode, it is the top 5 most influential video games for us personally. So you have a top 5 list. I have a top 5 list. You haven't heard mine. I haven't heard yours. We're going to kick it off with you. Give us your top 5 and why. It doesn't have to be in order, but if you have an order, that's cool too. But go ahead.
No order. But just so I'm clear, so this is the top 5 most influential video games of my life. So this is based on my personal experience. This is not
exactly
an all-time ranking
not
for like all the video games.
You can factor that in. You can factor that in.
I can factor that in, but it's my opinion.
Yeah,
right?
that's like the last thing.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter.
All right.
Yeah.
No particular order. I'm gonna list my 5 and then go through the reasons.
Yeah.
No particular order. Mario 64 and 64. Super Mario 64.
Okay.
Grand Theft Auto 3 on the PS2. Metal Gear Solid on the PS1.
Okay.
The first one. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. The first Call of Duty Modern Warfare when they went modern. I think 2008. I think on Xbox 360 and PS3. And the last. That's my 5. So reasons why, and I'll try to make it sweet. Super Mario 64, I had never seen anything like that before. It's like just going to 3D and him jumping through the paintings and running through the mansion and being able to fly and just how they really fleshed out the 2D Mario that we know with all the characters and the Koopas and everything and really giving them a new life in 3D. And seeing that as a little kid, being 6, 7 years old, going to Toys R Us and seeing that for the first time, I never forgot that experience, that feeling I got when I saw that, just blown away by the graphics. So that's Mario 64. GTA 3 on the what was it, right, in New York. So that was that was a game that my parents. It's probably because like it was so many parents that were trying to ban the game, and then my mom was like, "I'm not buying you that game," so I had to like finesse to get my dad to buy it, but not tell her, and then I had to like get good grades so he can get it for me, and then sneak it in, and then when my mom came home, I had to make sure I turned the game off and hid it under the bed. Like that's how I had to play GTA 3, but I liked it so much because like it was like that. Like I wasn't supposed to be playing that game when I was 11 years old, but just the fact that like. Not the violence and all that, but just the fact that like you could like steal a car, and not just that you stole a car, but that you could flip through radio stations, and they had like real radio stations, and like the songs they had real music on there, and then like they had fake talk shows, but it was really funny, and like being a kid and hearing like all these all the pop culture and hearing like the social commentary, it was just crazy to me. The world felt so lived in because of that, because of the music, the talk shows, the radio station really sticks out when I think about Grand Theft Auto 3. It's just how the world felt, and the billboards, the advertisements, the just people, the conversations on the street, when you bump into people, when you run into people, they just put a lot of for the time they put a lot into that game to make it really feel lived in, made it really feel realistic. So GTA 3 was one of the best and most influential games to me. Metal Gear Solid for the PS1. That game, like, and majority of that game, I'm not gonna lie, my older cousin, I watched him play that game. I might have played like a couple hours, but he played majority of the time 'cause he was older than me. He didn't want to share the controller, so I didn't really have a choice. You know what I'm saying? It's like seniority. So like, yeah, like he wasn't trying to share the controller. He wasn't trying to like let me play. I played for like a couple hours, but I pretty much watched him beat that game. I sat there and watched him play that game from start to finish. It took us like a week to get through it, and just the way that game utilized like the radio, like the radio system where you had to call people on, and you had to tune into the certain frequency to call different people, the Miro, and then like the whole scene with Sniper Wolf stuck with me. That boss battle with Sniper Wolf, and how you finally had to out snipe her, and when you hit her, like she was, and then you got to, basically hear her last words as she's dying. Ocelot, tough battle. The one mission that used the remote control Nikita missile. Just stuff that you hadn't seen in this is PlayStation 1, so the graphics are pretty shit. But at the time, it's like they did so much with so little. Put it like that. They did so much with so little in that game. And then it was a 2-disc game, so there was a part in that game where you had to switch discs, and they even incorporated the disc switching into the story. And then there's another scene like being tortured, and the DualShock PlayStation controller was pretty new at that time. And when you're being tortured, the controller's actually rumbling and shaking as you're being electrocuted. And I remember like this stuff like that. I was like, damn, this game is next level. So Metal Gear Solid. Call of Duty. I would say Call of Duty was big for me because like
Which one
Xbox.
though? You can't just say the
Modern
whole
Warfare.
franchise.
Modern Warfare. When they first went
Okay.
modern, so it was like, Call of Duty started off as a like
So Call of Duty
World
4.
War One. I guess it was 4 then, right? I just know it as Modern Warfare,
Yeah.
but I guess it
The
was
one the
4.
PS3, the first one the PS3,
Yeah, like
with
2008.
like Captain Price and them.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
like
Call of Duty 4.
Call of Duty was already like a good game, like World War One, World War Two. They had a couple military games before, but it was all old. It wasn't really interesting to me. But you always heard stories about, man, this is like a military game called Call of Duty. It's really good, but I was like, I'm not really interested because it's like it's not modern or whatever. But when they went modern, they changed the game because, especially being a PlayStation player, because PlayStation didn't really have like blockbuster hit. Xbox did. They had Gears of War. They had Halo. PlayStation really didn't have that. I didn't have an Xbox. My neighbor had. So for the first time, got like a hit multiplayer online shooter because we didn't have Gears or Halo, and of course Xbox had all three. That's when Xbox 360 was like on top. But yeah, so like they did a lot of things that like changed the player shooters to this day, like the kill streak, obviously, the UAVs in that game, the perks, the kill cam, everything like, and it's just to this day, Call of Duty's a really big franchise because of what they did when they went modern. So I have to say Call of Duty, and just the epic like memories of just being in party chats with your friends, playing Call of Duty and calling in kill streaks for the first time, experiencing that when it first came out, legendary. And last but not least, The Last of Us. I think I'm talking about the first one now. I'm not talking about the second one. The second one, but the first one definitely was something that I didn't know a video game could be. Put it like that. I didn't know a video game could be that. There's no other game like it to me to this day. That you've had cinematic games before, but I've never had a game where I felt like while I'm playing it or after I beat it, I felt like I had to, talk to a therapist to really think about what just happened. It was like that deep. And I really experienced that. I have an overactive imagination as it is. I only need that much to believe it. And that game gave me a lot to just it gave me a lot to experience, like fear, anxiety. What would it be like if this actually happened? But The Last of Us, the thing that got me the most is not like what you might think. It's the notes in that game, the notes that they left behind. Like as you're going through the world, you can find these notes about people, and people who died and what they were doing, looking for loved ones, what their life was like, searching for a loved one. They were searching for the son of their daughter that needed medicine. And you're reading these notes that got left behind by these dead people, and you don't even know if you're gonna make it. Like you think you might die. So I think that's one of the most special and intimate things about that game are the notes. So Last of Us. That's my 5.
All right, and just in case, so people can hear again, your top 5 were The Last of Us, Mario's Nintendo 64, Call of Duty 4, Metal Gear Solid for the PS1. Was it PS1?
PS1,
What
yeah.
was the last one?
GTA 3, PS2.
GTA 3, PS2. That's solid. That's solid. I left Call of Duty off.
I don't know why.
I was thinking about it. I was really thinking about it. But these 5 I put, I feel like are solid. I do agree with Metal Gear Solid. I think that was a really good choice. That was a sneaky one. I wasn't sure if you were going to put it in or not. So, but I felt like that fit in with you. And I know how you feel about The Last of Us. So I 100% agree with The Last of Us because I already know that you have poster for those that are on Patreon watching.
They earn that. They earn that.
The Last of Us is really good. I thought it was one of the first games where you could really like some games you can watch walkthroughs like pretty much like a lot of the games, but like that was a game where I'm like you could really sit down and watch a walkthrough of that game like on YouTube or whatever and really feel like you're playing it. Like the immersion in that game was really for a PS3. Cause I know it's been like remade to death at this point and then the TV show and all that stuff,
Yeah,
but
you
like
forget it came out on PS3, bro. Yep.
when it came out on the PS3s, a PS3 game, like. Don't get me wrong, Call of Duty 4 was amazing, but it wasn't like, and Modern Warfare 2 and all that stuff, but like, it wasn't like, the story wasn't so deep like that. Like, it wasn't The Last of Us. The Last of Us really was
the story.
a story game, bro. Like, you don't get games like that.
That game is the story. Like,
even now, you don't get games like that. So that was really, really good. So my 5, I'm going to go... So I did Super Smash Bros. Melee, Halo 2, Halo 3, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and then NBA 2K14. I'm going to explain them.
Alright, okay, you got 2 Halos, though.
I do, but I'll explain why. It was a hard choice because Halo 3 is the one I took. Halo 3 is where so I was going to use Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is where I was going to put where Halo 3 is, but I'll say why. So let's start with NBA 2K14. The reason why I choose NBA 2K14, I'm a sports fan. I love sports games.
With Jordan
the reason why I
right?
chose, I believe, it was the one Jordan cover. And the
awesome.
reason why I chose that is one, that's why I graduated high school, and had a whole summer before going transition to college. And I was like, all right, I really spent a lot of time gaming. Like I spent a lot of time gaming and watching anime there during that time. And NBA 2K14, man, that's when they introduced something called the Park, which is normal now. That's when they introduced the Park on 2K14, where you can go, you're a creative player and basically pick up basketball online.
In the park. Yeah.
On the park. And I played with my friend like nonstop. Like we fell in love with 2K14. Like NBA 2K14, we fell in love with the franchise like then. We played it before, but then that was the only time we can squad up like 2v2s, go play other people in 2v2s, go 3v3s, 4 like whatever, play full on 5v5, pick up. Like that was crazy. Like that moment in 2K history, in sports game history really, is the equivalent of like what Call of Duty 4 was in terms of like, hey, we're taking this Call of Duty franchise, which before Call of Duty you had Medal of Honor, which was another one that was fire at the PS1/PS2 time. But what Call of Duty did, and what I'll talk about later what Halo did in terms of multiplayer connectiveness and really making multiplayer a real immersive thing with online communities is what 2K14 did. Because before that, you weren't doing that with your creative players, like not at that level. So that was really cool. So that's why I had to put that there. It really changed stuff for me. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, man. I mean, anyone who's a Nintendo fanboy already knows what's good with that game.
Like that game is like probably top 10 video games ever.
Well, I would say like unless you had Nintendo, because some people started with a Switch or some people started with.
I mean, for grown people, for adults, like that.
I feel you, but a lot of people like you know what I'm saying. Video games were expensive, bro. Like we were fortunate enough to have it, but not everyone can get a Nintendo 64. So like, but for people who did, Ocarina of Time was up there. to me at the time, cause I was very, very, very young, obviously, when it came out. So, like, for me, that's what I'm saying. Like, the borderline was like me. Anyone younger than me, it was probably the Switch or something, their first console, the Wii. But, so, yeah, in the sense of Ocarina of Time, man, it was like a horror game to me, because some of the aspects were, for a kid, some of the aspects were like, yo, this is scary, going in this cave with these spiders, and, like, this volcano, or this and that, like, and you're by yourself, and it's not like games now where you have these cutscenes, and there's actual dialogue, and there's acting, and there's motion cap. No, it's just like a bunch of people who could not speak, and then, like, you know, reading stuff, and then you're going through all these horror things by yourself, and the music, the soundtrack was amazing. To this day, I still bump the music. I actually bought the Ocarina from the game. I have the actual Ocarina in my house, so that's just how much that meant to me, and, like, yeah, it's just one of those OG games where I felt like it blended horror with action adventure and music. Like, not just horror music, but, like, just so many different types of melodies and music that I felt like it just blended so many good things together that really propelled me into really loving video games even more. So that's why I'm putting Ocarina of Time there. Now I'm going to talk about Halo 2 and 3. I put both of those on there. This is the reason why I put both of those on there. Both of them served a very unique purpose into video gaming for me and video gaming history and to me in general, which still reflects on me personally. So Halo 2 was not online like that. Like, Halo 2 was on the original Xbox. So it was like, what, 2001, 2002?
What do you mean it wasn't online?
No, I know Xbox, like, I know for the original Xbox there was a online feature, but I'm trying to tell people it wasn't like
Xbox Live.
For people who don't know, because not everyone is like, not if a young audience is talking, like, you know, 18-year-olds, 18 to like 25-year-olds right now, they don't know what the fuck we're talking about. But for the most part, but so Halo 2 wasn't online like how Halo 3 was, but Halo 2 campaign was so freaking good, man. Mm-hmm. Like, it was one of the first games for me where split screen gameplay was a must. Like, to really utilize like the enjoyment of Halo 2, you've got to, like, landline that joint, man. Like, it was, to me, it was one of the best land games, period, in my opinion. It was just so good, man. You know, you still heard, that's part of the wave where games where you started actually getting, like, voice actors. You start really, like, they start playing a real role into breathing life into these characters. You know what I'm saying? Like, coming from a generation where it was Final Fantasy VII, or Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, you know, instead of getting, like, these noises or, like, no noise at all, like, you got characters with distinct voices that, if you heard Master Chief, no matter what, as long as it's the same dude, you're like, that's Master Chief, that's Cortana, that's Johnson, like, that's, like, these characters you really remembered. And that's, to me, Halo 2 is what solidified Microsoft and Xbox as, like, a legitimate gaming company in that sense.
Halo 1 did that. But yeah, no, Halo 2.
Halo 1, but Halo 2, like, I'm trying to tell people, Combat Evolved was cool, but Halo 2, man, it to me, it just changed the game. Because some of the stuff that you could not do in Halo 1, and some of the stuff that was just, at the time, transcendent, was some of that, the game level design, period, like, stuff like that. Like, Halo 2 was really, graphic-wise, too, like, it just, for a console that just came out, that people didn't even know about, man, like, it was bonkers. So that's why I put Halo 2 there. It's just, I still have my original case and copy of Halo 2 from, like, 2000, like, early 2000, bro. It was one of those games. Halo 3, because when
was that on 360 or that was on Xbox, the original?
360.
360, right? Yeah.
Because that's when Party Chat really played a role. You had these multiplayer games where you can create levels. You can create levels, man. Like, you're telling me I can pretend like I'm a dev. I can create a whole level and then invite my friends and we can play custom games. Like, it was just something that's like, how did you even like, because you look Halo 1 and 2. You're not thinking that's like, to take that next step and that will be your step is where you can damn near create your own, not even damn near, you can literally create your own level. Like, they provide the bare minimum that they literally need to create, just basically to program it, and then you can go from there and kind of like create your own. You have all this station has Warhogs, this station has this station has that, you know, the energy source will be hidden here, and then you can create that whole level, create your own game with your friends, and then jump in and play. That's revolutionary to me, because to this day that I know of, to it that I know of. No
Yeah.
other game has done it like that.
Now, Halo Infinite, when it launched, they originally announced that they were gonna have that feature, the create a what is it called, create a map or create a level feature.
Yeah,
But then they cut it and they said we're gonna add it in later, like in the season pass or like in the roadmap. But they cut it out, and then later on, maybe like a year later, they're saying, oh, we had to actually cancel that update, so you're not getting it. But they tried to bring it back for Infinite, but they didn't.
I'm telling you, man. I fell off of Halo for a while, obviously, but like, so I didn't know if they took it off or not. I didn't even know that, but it was at the time. At the time, it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. If you had friends, you were able to play it. It was
Battle
so
Rifle, hell yeah.
cool. It was so cool. So that's why Halo 3 has to go there. Obviously, the campaign was just, I mean, it was crazy. It was great. People were buying Xbox 360s for the sole purpose, because not everyone bought Xbox. The GameCube came out there at that time. A lot of people bought the GameCube. A lot of people, the PS2, one of the greatest consoles of all time, was existing. Like, Xbox was
They
the
didn't
new
have a
kid
Halo
on the
though.
block.
They didn't have no Halo.
They didn't. But a lot of people weren't going to buy it
Halo
for one
was a
game.
juggernaut.
Halo 3 was that game where people were like, because remember, you know what else came out around the time of Halo 3 that made it popular?
Gears.
YouTube.
Oh yeah, Red versus Blue. You're right.
Red, yes.
Yeah.
And so people were watching that and was like, bro, that's, yeah, I need to buy. Like, I was one of the people, I was a Sony fanboy, Nintendo fanboy, was like, I need an Xbox 360 immediately. I played Halo
Yeah,
2,
bro.
cool. But I was like, I'm not going to buy a whole, as a kid especially, I don't have my own money like that. I'm not going to go buy a whole console just for one game. No, Halo 3 was that game. Halo 3 was that game.
If a game is good enough, I will buy a console for one game. Actually, I bought the Switch for one game, Smash Brothers. I wouldn't have a Switch if Smash Brothers wasn't on Nintendo.
Very true. I'm an adult now, so yeah, I would do that. But like as a child, like as like a 13, like someone whose money was not in their own hands,
yeah.
really.
Your parents
Yeah,
not gonna buy
you
you
just-
two and
you know
three
what I'm
consoles. Are you crazy?
Yes, but that console, I worked hard that summer. Right, that console, I was locked in, and I was, to this day, I'm proud that I'm one of the only people in my friend group at the time, to this day, that had never got the Red Ring of Death. So
For real?
shout out, never did, man.
Damn, you still
And
got
I put
your
hours
Xbox?
into that joint. No,
Oh, I was about to
I
say.
traded in for the Xbox One or something, whatever the next gen was after that. So Halo 2 and 3. And then lastly, Smash Bros. Melee, bro. Smash Bros. Melee,
Yeah.
I put so many hours into that game. And this was hard because it was between this and Skyrim. Because Skyrim is the only RPG that I can say I actually really love to death. But Super Smash Bros. Melee, man, made me fall in love with the series. I did play the Nintendo 64 version. I liked it. I didn't love it. Probably because I also didn't like the controls that much on the Nintendo 64 for that game in particular. But Melee, bro, for the GameCube, to me was cool, man. It introduced so many characters I didn't know, bro. Like that's how I got into Fire Emblem and like I always obviously was a Pokemon fan, but it was really cool to see Pokemon in there, like extended Pokemon. Like you had Star Fox and his guys, Samus and Metroid. Obviously, again, the Nintendo 64 version,
Samus is
but
my
seeing
main.
it, yeah, and Captain Falcon, Ness, like so many iconic characters. There's a reason why, like you just said about your Switch, like there's a reason why people buy Nintendo consoles either for Mario Party or some kind of Super Mario game, and then
Mario
Smash
Kart.
Bros.
That's why Mario
Exactly.
Kart too. Like it was like, okay, I might buy it for Mario Kart, maybe. I'm definitely buying it for Smash, so I may as well Mario Kart. That's how I looked at it.
There we go. So that's why Melee. I mean, and the feature too. I never forget, like when you're grinding and you're trying to unlock a character. So you grind. Then that screen comes with the sirens as like a character's approaching, and then as a character you really want to get. And this is before YouTube, people. This is before YouTube.
Yeah.
And I say this is important because this is when you had to go on your website. This is when we still had minutes on the phone. Garrett knows what I'm talking about. This is when we had minutes on the phone. I'm bringing us all the way back to times that seem archaic now, how technology is.
It is arcade.
There was a time where you had to call at a certain time to not use up your house phone like that, and also your minutes and rolling coverage, all that kind. It was a different time, bro. I say all that to say, Super Smash Bros. Melee, man. You go on the website, you go on your computer, yes, type up like like you know what Reddit is like. There was more like it was like what Reddit kind of was, what kind of is, or was when it started out. Just chat rooms, basically, right? So back in the day, you had to go on chat rooms to figure some games out, or you had to go get a game guide. Otherwise, like that's the only two ways. You're not going on YouTube videos and watching walkthroughs. You either had an older brother or older
There was
sibling.
there was a website called Cheat Code Central. But yeah, go ahead.
That's exactly what it is. Exactly. Cheat code. I had game facts or cheat facts or something like that.
Facts. Yeah.
That's what I used for the cheat codes for Grand Theft Auto, stuff like that. So
Unlimited ammo.
unlimited ammo, unlimited health, spawn car, all that good stuff. Or you can like remember the cheat code in Grand Theft Auto where you can like incite basically a riot. So like even the citizens like really yeah, it was
Hostile,
crazy. The cheat codes are funny.
Yeah.
So Super Smash Bros. Melee is up there. It's one of the games, man. It's just again another LAN game. Nintendo's always done that, but like Melee was like this is the first all-star lineup thing that many people try to emulate. Many people, Nickelodeon, Warner Brothers,
All-Stars, Battle Royale,
PlayStations, anime. Like so many people, so many companies have tried, and I'm sorry. The reason why they fail is because it's not Smash Brothers. It's just not. The array of characters, the small arena, the beef, man. To this day, people in college, to this day, we're in 2024. People in college, from what I heard, I left in 2018. People still play Super Smash Bros. Man, not the Switch one. Definitely not the Wii one.
It's the best.
But people get GameCubes just to play
Samus was the best or the strongest in Melee. Like he got nerfed, or she got nerfed in the later series, and she's a lot slower now. She's a lot slower. Her speed missile's not as fast. Like for Samus main, Melee Samus is peak Samus, bro, for sure.
There we go. And yeah, and I think Melee 2, this is like a side note, to me, I think it increased sales on a lot of their character solo games. Because when Melee came out, then you start having Star Fox solo games again on the GameCube. You know, you obviously had that Metroid game, which was going to come out regardless, I feel like, but still, like, people played Melee and was like, oh, who's this character? Like, I want to play, like, just, and then they're like, hey, well, if you like this character, there's a whole game for this character, and then, like, you know, it just helped boost sales and stuff like that. And it turned Smash Bros. Into what it is now, so I think that Melee is that game. If Melee didn't succeed, you wouldn't have got one on the Wii, and you definitely wouldn't have got what
trash.
It was. But the Wii is
It was
also
trash, bro. I was so
console.
hyped. We finally played it. Me and my boys, we playing it. I'm like, hold on. Did they introduce like random like slipping and falling? You remember that shit? You just randomly fall. Like I was like, whose idea was that? Like imagine a tournament, like professional, and you just slip. Like, come on, man. That was ridiculous.
So there's a lot of stuff for that. But yeah, so those are our top fives. I think we for basically 10 games. First of all, I like that we each had different fives, which wasn't on purpose. We could have came in here with very close ones, but I thought it was nice because there is an age gap between us, so I thought it would be interesting to see like what yours would be versus mine, because yours could have easily had more Super Nintendo games you wanted to, or like more Nintendo 64 games, because mine would have to like literally be after the like kind of after the wave for my age, or he kind of after my.
I was thinking about
after
putting the
initial
Dreamcast
wave.
game on there, but I was like, it was a consideration, but you know, it didn't make
It's hard. I mean, I had Skyrim, I had Kingdom Hearts. Like again, for stuff like for me personally, those are. I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, so like those are me like stuff like that. But I was like, nah, I had to go Halo 2 and 3.
You know, Final Fantasy could have made that joint. Metroid Prime for the GameCube could have made that joint. I feel like that was a really good game. Trying to think what else. Mario Kart 64 definitely could have made it, but
Hell yeah, bro.
not over Mario 64, so I had to, you know. I was trying to think what else. Like the honorable mention, like honorable mention. God of War 2018 could have made it easily.
God of
He just
War
didn't have enough.
2018.
Like 10 years from Probably will, but it didn't have enough time. Like these joints are classics, like because we know they stood the test. 2018 was too recent for me, but
That's true.
ask me in 10 years, it'll probably be up there. God of War
I feel
2018.
like yeah, God of War. I mean, yeah. Actually, now that you bring it up, so because we about to wrap
Hmm.
up the show, but since you bring it up, I actually am curious since we're on this subject, and this could be a whole nother episode by itself. So we'll try to keep it short here. But what is your opinion on? And again, try to keep this as short as possible.
Hmm.
Who do you think has the best lineup of exclusives?
It's PlayStation. Oh, hold on. I'm thinking about PlayStation and Xbox. Between them two is PlayStation. But Nintendo just everything Mario sells. So they got Mario Tennis, they got Mario Party, they got Mario Kart, they got Mario and Luigi, they got and then even things without Mario, the Kirby's, the Metroid, they're coming out with the new Metroid game. So I mean like they're exclusives, but like they don't have much outside of the Mario family exclusives. And I put like Kirby in the Mario family. I put um what's the name of that? Oh, why am I drawing a blank here? Uh, what's the Ike? Come on now.
Ike, you talking about from I don't play. I didn't play that. Is that Fire Emblem or is Ike
No,
from someone else?
I'm not thinking about Ike. Anyways, but yeah, okay. The Mario family, I consider them all in the Mario family.
You
Wario,
talking about
all those
Donkey
guys.
Kong?
Nah, not Donkey Kong, but Donkey, that's a good example too. Donkey Kong. So like they don't have much outside of the Mario family that maybe like Splatoon or something like that. But they don't really need to because all the Mario, the quality of the Mario family games are so high, and they always sell so well, they always score so well, like Metacritic wise. They're always at least the eight, usually the nines or tens. You know what I mean? So they don't really the quality control is so good, they don't really need much outside of the Mario family. But I do kind of put an asterisk, like a knock on it a little bit, because it's like, oh, it's just Mario a different way with them. But with PlayStation, they have a lot more variety in terms of different well, not different genre again, because PlayStation specializes in first person, not first person, story driven, cinematic, um single player cinematic story driven games. So like within that, you have your Horizons, you have your God of War, you have your Ghost of Tsushima, you have your Last of Us, you have your Uncharted, you have your Spider-Man, you have your what else you have? Ratchet and Clank. Like the list goes on. Like Astrobot now, they even introduced him. So you have a lot more variety. It's not like they're all spawning from one character or one franchise. Like they have a lot more variety. But then PlayStation and Nintendo, if I were to compare like the Mario family versus everything Sony has, who would I put in front? Damn, that's a hard one. It's like it's a different way to skin a cat. You can do it this way or that way. Like I can't say one is better than the other. It's just different. You know what I mean? It's just different.
I'll say this. I'll say this. I'm gonna be the grump in the room. I'm gonna make a decision. I'll make a winner. All
Go ahead.
right. I am going with Sony
I knew
as
you gonna
of
say that.
2024.
I knew you was gonna say that.
There's a reason for this. One, Nintendo been making games for a minute, so don't get it twisted.
I was
Nintendo been
thinking about
making games
Pit,
for a minute.
but go ahead.
Pit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, for a minute. But the reason why I'm giving Sony the edge, and this is going to be something that can always really be ongoing. But the reason why I give this to Sony right now is because I think that Sony saw, okay, especially early Sony saw, we're not going to be Nintendo. We're not going to be them
Okay.
because again, the early games you listen to one of them, Metal Gear Solid would never. Snake is on a Smash Bros. Game for some reason, but other than that, he would. You're not there. You're not getting something like that from Nintendo, which is fine. They're not. That's not their wheelhouse. They don't care. Like they're doing their thing. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
But Sony has always not only have they pushed it with the narrative games, but they've had to do it with their hardware as well. Because yes, like imagine The Last of Us, which is a great story regardless and all that stuff. But imagine with graphics of like, you know what I mean? Like imagine with like PS2 graphics in the time of the PS3 / PS4. Like That's my problem with Nintendo. And I know that sounds like it's two different issues, but to me it's not, because again, you have to evolve. The fact that they're willing always to evolve their hardware and their graphical capability and push it to the limits for their games is what helps makes their games to that next level of not only like ingenuity, but also just like, you're not going to forget it. Like, despite the reception of The Last of Us Part 2, it was a gorgeous ass video game.
I like that game, bro.
Gorgeous game.
I'm a fan of that game. I just think they should have made a few different decisions. That's all I'm trying to say. But all in all, yeah, that game was the shit.
It was a very beautiful game.
Yes,
and they had to do that. Not had to, but you know what I mean? Like, they did it because they're like, yeah, what's the point of making this a really good game like that, but not pushing the boundaries of how it can look? Like, I want this to be an experience, because when you make it something like that, it's like it does something that other old games couldn't do as well because of the graphics. It's like these things look so realistic now that you can really immerse yourself into these worlds, and they don't sacrifice story for the sake of that. Like, it could be easy to just be like, oh, it looks realistic, but the story's ass. No, they're like, we need our stories to be here and our graphics to meet it. It has to, or else what's the point? And I like that approach because I feel like you can keep pushing the boundaries of what video games can become. I mean, there's another poster you have for people watching that's Uncharted. The Uncharted series has done stuff as well. The Uncharted series could easily be on this list. It's done a lot for video games in general, like especially Uncharted 4. That's a gorgeous video game, bro. And gorgeous video games. To this day, a very gorgeous video game. So you have these games, man, and Sony also, the voice actors. Like, that's the thing, like, they implement so many elements into what modern game making is now. The voice actors, the motion captures, the environments, like I said, they're basically making movies except video games. That's literally what they're doing.
Especially with
it's not easy.
Yep.
God of War, 2018, God of War Ragnarok.
Come on now.
Very gorgeous video from what the game used to be in conception of it to what they made it now with the transition. Is crazy. And the original games are all fucking amazing. But I'm saying, like, to make it what it is now, it's different. It's just different. So that's why I'm giving the edge. And there's no knock on Nintendo. They make amazing games. But let's be honest, like, a lot of these games, as successful as they are, they're always going to sell. But it's pretty much, okay, here's Mario Kart from a lot of these Nintendo 64 games. How do we just tweak it and modernize it to... No, Sony's like, how do we make an experience? Like, how do we make...
that you never had before.
Like different
Ghost,
games.
that came out of nowhere. Ghost of Tsushima?
Ghost of Tsushima.
I was like, what's this going to be like? And then I played it.
Gorgeous game.
Yeah.
And there's been like 2-3 games that try to copy that joint. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, man.
And so you see that Black Myth Wukong. I know that's not exclusive, but you know what I mean. Like,
I haven't played it yet, but I heard it was good.
I haven't played it either, but like, just, you can't run that on. That's another thing. You can't run that kind of game on Nintendo will blow up, bro. It'll become a bomb. So you have things like that where it's like, we'll see. But we'll see. But yeah, so that's why I give it to that. But anyway, with that being said, we appreciate y'all for listening, man. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Garrett doing his thing. Again, good list. I really like that you put Metal Gear Solid in there. I think that's a sleeper. And I hope I don't know if they've really done it like that, but they really need to like revamp that franchise, bro. Like, I know because Kojima, I know the situation with all that, but like, at least remaster it. Like, there's some games, people don't understand. A lot of these remaster stuff, they have a whole there's a whole catalog of PS2 games that if they ever got remastered, bro, they would chart again. Because a lot of people forgot. A lot of people weren't even alive for those games that are gaming now, especially, and also this has been forgotten about. There's a lot of games, man. I'm talking about Midnight Club. I'm talking about, like, there's so many games, bro, that have just not seen the light of day ever again, that they got remastered or they continue the franchise. And I think that'll be a good way to revitalize the gaming community and video games, is to bring, not only just remaster it, but like just bring it back, like, hey, like basically how they did with God of War, just like revitalize the franchise. I think there's a lot of PS2 games, man. Like, what's that one with the clown? They made a TV show off of it now, but what's the one with the Twisted Metal? Yeah. I'm very, like, there's a lot of games. The PS2 catalog is deep. PS2 catalog is probably the deepest of any generation, in my opinion.
Probably.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Because that's you have to imagine, that's peak Capcom, bro. That's peak Capcom was PS2 era. Like
Wow.
Capcom with the Devil May Cry franchise, Mega Man franchise, Street Fighter. Like I know they're still making something, like, but, you know, it wasn't like trust me, like PS2 stuff, like it was like that. There's a reason why that console sold what it did, bro. Like there's a lot of games that if they ever brought to light day, I mean we still don't have we don't have a Mega Man. Like Mega Man just kind of died for some reason. So it's like there's so many games that just died.
Never made like a really
they
good
came
3D
back.
Mega Man. I don't think.
Never. And they just refuse not to. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, y'all. See you on the next one. Peace out.